Head coach Paul Peterson joins us on Trailblazer Weekly. Coach, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It just happened to fall at a good time during your fall camp schedule. Today, we're grateful to have you on the show, and there's a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. I mean, you hate to sound cliche, but let's start out with your impressions. How have you felt about the first 5 days of fall camp to this point? I know the fifth day isn't all the way over yet, but you've had practice. You've got, you don't call them walkthroughs anymore. You've got your packed coming up tonight where you get out, you actually get to use a football now, part of that. But you've had your fifth practice of the camp. Where's this team at? What are your first impressions when you think back over the last 5 days?
Yeah, no, I think after spring practice, we climbed spring practice. Everything was new. We had a lot of guys that were new to the scheme, both offensively and defensively. I thought where we left off and when we came into camp, we didn't go down. It was a refresher for a lot of guys. With the new guys adding some value to our program in all positions, the competition's really, really high right now, and we got a lot of energy on both sides of the ball because of that. Guys are fighting for their spot where maybe before they felt a little comfortable, and that's okay. That makes us all better. We're talking about the practice, alignment, assignment, communication, and technique, the PAC, that's what it stands for. But those are always good to get those things fixed. It allows those young guys to get an extra practice where it's slowed down, where we can communicate with them and talk to them what they're doing wrong, or right. But really like where we're at right now. We got. I feel real confident with our first and second teams, which sometimes you're not that second team. I think we've got some good depth all over the place. So if a guy goes down, I don't think we're going to be missing, which inevitably happens, that much.
Of course, you look at fall camp now. It used to be that you could do 2 or even 3 a days and get out there and work these guys into the ground. Now some of the changes the NCAA has made, you get your one practice and then your walkthroughs. As a coach, how much more, I don't want to say pressure, but how much more pressure is there to make sure that we get out and we work on every single thing we want to work on in that 2 hours that we get in the morning, and then be able to tidy it up during those walkthrough sessions?
Yeah, I don't think it's that much. You got to be smart as a head coach, regardless of if you had the 2 days that they had before and the 3 days. It was crazy. We were just beating the kids up, and we were, as coaches, being selfish, getting them out there. But I think we're able to maximize our meeting time as well as our pack time to be able to get them the reps they need. Full speed reps are always going to be prime, but if we're doing the walkthrough and getting it on the film, different guys learn different ways, and so they've got to know that we're maximizing every one of their minutes. They're getting home and hitting the hay, I'm sure, because we're waking up pretty early in the morning to get ready for practice.
Coach, obviously one thing that's going to be on everyone's mind coming into the season, we talked about a little bit in the open. Let's just jump right into it. Talk about quarterbacks and see, we got a couple of good candidates. Obviously, Cody Wilstead, Keaton Mott, Tanner Hammond. If you'd like to, we can go ahead and give you the opportunity to name a starter right here on the show if you'd like to.
No.
If not, then I know it's only been 5 days. But
everyone at Pueblo, plug your ears. Don't listen to this part.
Just give us a little bit of kind of a breakdown of what you've seen so far from the kind of 3 guys you've been featuring.
We're talking about consistency with our guys right now. We've got flashes of some really good plays. With the 3 guys that you mentioned, I'll put Kobe Tracy in there, the true freshman we got there. He's gotten some really good one reps. He's ahead of his age, in my opinion. I think we've got some really good quarterbacks. Those 4 guys, and then we got a couple young guys and Caleb and Isaac Hamilton that are doing a really good job as well. They've got a promising future, so I feel like we got a really good room. Again, it comes with consistency. Like I said, I see a guy step up and rip a dig or a post, and I'm like, yes, that's the one. And then a couple plays later, there's something wrong with their footwork, or they're making a wrong read, or a bad decision, forcing a ball here and there. So I'm looking for that guy that's going to make the right decision every time. And I think with more reps that we give to some of these guys, we're going to see that more as we progress. But it's a good problem to have.
Let's move over to the guys that are going to be protecting your quarterback, the offensive line. Obviously, another big key position every single year. You got to have a quarterback, but then you also got to have someone to protect him as well and open up those holes for your running backs. Talk a little bit about some of the returners you may have from the offensive line. Talk about some of the maybe new guys that are standing out in camp. Just give us an overall breakdown who you might see on the offensive line this season.
Yeah, we tried to bring in about 20 guys at the offensive line to add some depth. So we got a lot of young guys that are getting some reps as well. But from the previous year, Nate Sevis is the man. He's a leader on our offense. We've been able to move him on all 3 inside positions. At center, he's a great leader. He's able to communicate. We've had a couple little injuries, and we've had some guys bump out. But he's been able to move to that guard. He's a stud for us. He's gonna, in my opinion, he's a captain for me. I mean, he's a leader. We'll see how the players vote for him. But Adib at the right tackle has done a really good job for us. Satima, we got Haonga, we call him the Hammer. He's a freshman. He's getting some reps with the ones at the guard position. When he knows what he's doing, he's be able to move some people, which we're definitely excited about. I know I'm missing a ton of guys
Taylor
here.
Alvarez.
Tay's our starting left tackle.
Yeah.
He's our base guy. So our 2 tackles we feel really, really confident with. But as far as the offensive line, all those guys got to be able to move inside and outside. And then we really got to push our younger guys to be able to be ready to go. And I think we're a little bit behind right now. When we get to our 2s, we're having a hard time. The quarterback position stepping up because we got some missed assignments. But as throughout camp, we'll be able to fix that, I hope.
Chatting with Dixie State football head coach Paul Peterson, and Coach, you kind of beat me to my next question there. I mean, you never want to test depth really at any position because you want to stay with the ones and who's there. Because if you're moving guys in and out, maybe you didn't evaluate the talent right, or B, someone's getting hurt. But let's talk about our offensive line. You just kind of hinted at it. Those ones are looking really good. What needs to be done to make sure that those guys in the second unit and the third unit, so if a man goes down, those guys can step in and help literally plug up holes in the offensive line.
If you talk about guys that we travel, we can take 60 guys traveling with us, and so we're going to take about 26, 27 guys offensively. You can only take about 7 or 8 offensive linemen. So we're looking for the 7, 8 best guys right now. They're going to travel with us, and we're going to take some young guys. We just are. So the guys, again, it's the same thing with the quarterbacks. Who's going to be the most consistent in the pass protection and in the run game? And we've got some guys that are physically capable of getting it done right now, and we're giving as many reps as we possibly can. And we're pushing some of the older guys that have been around a while too. So that's not a bad problem to have as well.
Continue to talk about the offense. I mean, you're the head coach, so you got to worry about both sides of the ball. But you played quarterback, so you're an offensive guy. So we're going to break down the offense. We got Tyler coming in to talk about the defense here in just a few minutes. But we mentioned, I don't know if you're here in the studio yet. We mentioned that one of the spots that you may have a lot of depth at is going to be your skill position guys. You got a lot of good running backs, good physical running backs. AJ's coming back, but you've got a lot of guys that have come in. The Natoa brothers that have been physical and kind of bruising guys so far. Receivers, Casey Allison, DeJuan Dantzler, Xavier Smith is back, but then you've got a Jalen Powell coming in. You've got a Ricky Johnson as a freshman that's turning some heads already. Talk about those skill position guys and what your evaluation is to this point and what you've seen out of both the running backs and the receivers.
I'm really excited about our receivers. Those guys coming back, they did some really good things last year. Casey got a little dinged up last year and missed some games. Hopefully we can keep him healthy. He's a big part of our offense. He can take the top off. Him and Dantzler are some of the best receivers I've been around at any level. Xavier and JP at that H position, that inside slot position, we've tried to find ways to get them the ball, but they're awesome. You mentioned Ricky and Malcolm and Devin. Devin's another one. Yeah. So we've got 6 or 7 targets at the receiver position where I feel like that's where we got the most depth. They can go out and get a ball. They're going to pose some problems for some defenses. If defenses want to load the box to stop our run game, then we're going to launch. We're going to launch anyway. You can put that on there.
Okay, there it is. 2019 Dixie State football slogan, ready to launch.
Let's go.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. So those are receivers, but running backs.
Running backs. We were a little thin in spring. We didn't have some guys that we brought in at the mid-year. So we'd signed Yarman Natoa, and he was a freshman All-American. He broke his foot last year, so he ended up redshirting. So he's got 3 years to go, and he's out there running around like a vet. And Sajay's really silky smooth, tough runner too. But now you got Diarman. He's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, and he's going to punish it. And his brothers just like him. So he's having some of the same problems as some of those rookies are as far as understanding the offense. But when he knows what he's doing, he gets downhill and he'll put his head down. And then Robles is another one. I mean, he's awesome. He's had some really impressive jump cuts getting downhill. So I mean, Connor is another guy that we're going to be able to move around both at the running back position. He played receiver last year.
And played quarterback in junior college. I mean, how can you not have that guy on the field?
He does it all. He's a guy that doesn't make mistakes, and he works his tail off. So we're going to find a little package for him to get him out on the field. But it's a good. We've added some depth, and I feel like it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for these guys.
One thing, one position, at least one aspect of the game from last season that I think you hopefully have been able to improve on was the special teams, specifically your place kicker, field goals, extra points. I think they struggled a little bit last year with that group that they had. Talk about a little bit about those special team guys, place kicker, extra points, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so James Baird, we signed him from Snow College. James is awesome. You know, he was inside the 25. It's going to be 3 points. I think last year they were going for it quite a bit inside the red zone.
It was 4-down territory quite a bit.
You know we're gonna take those points and get off the field. He's pretty consistent inside there. You know, the ones that he missed last year at Snow College were 45 plus. You know, we put him in tough situations that way. But he was making them, and he made some too. But we've added value there. At punter, we've got Wood back there doing a really good job, and he's got the number one punting job right now. And so I know we miss our All-American from last year, but hopefully we don't miss too much in the special teams game. That's the hidden yardage that not a lot of people talk about. You know,
just score, right? Then you don't ever have to punt.
That's right. I hate punting.
That's what we obviously hope for every game we have to do. No punts. Transition a little bit into, I think one of the things that Carrick and I have both talked about in preparation for the show. Obviously, the big announcement last spring was we're transitioning into Division I. This is the last season. We will officially be a part of a Division II program. Coming off an awesome season last year, they set records in wins. 7-4 was the best mark they'd had in the Division II era. This football team going Division I next year. How do you get your guys to say, we got one more season in Division II. Let's not overlook these 11 games we've got this season. Let's go out with a bang. How do you get them to kind of buy into that, knowing you're going Division I next season? You
know, that's funny. We got our seniors to remind us. We just had a team meeting with the president, and was talking about this Division I and the future of the program and the facilities. And Alex Leland raises his hand. He was like, "Well, what's going on this year? I'm sick of this talk. This is my senior year." He was fired up. It was awesome. But yeah, those guys are here to remind us. There's no question that we're focused on this year. We really want to set the tone. I mean, the natural progression is of these guys that have been here is to make that jump to more wins. I mean, to either match or do more wins and see the gains in that column. I mean, that's really what you're judged by, and we want to make sure that we're good in the community. But those old guys, they're the ones that are making sure that we're really focused on that. I like the way we match up, watching the film and evaluating, you know, each team in this conference. Someone's going to come up, someone's going to go down. I think where we got placed as far as the rankings for our conference is okay. You know, as a competitor myself, I want to be up there at the top, and we got to earn it. So
I was going to say, I was with you when you saw the ranking the first time. But
you know, it's okay. It's all right. You know, everyone's undefeated right now going into fall camp, and everyone's got the conference championship, and everyone's got the national championship playoffs in their mind, but we're working towards that, and that's a goal that I think is realistic for us.
Head coach Paul Peterson joins us on Trailblazer Weekly. It's the first episode of Season 2. It's our fall camp special as we continue to break down not only the camp, but this year's team and the good stuff happening on, but not only on, but off the field as well. Coach, one thing I was thinking about as we're preparing for this interview is, and I love how active you are on social media. I love it. I love to see a coach that's sharing what his team is doing, what the coaches are doing, and have been able to kind of see into other parts of the fall camp. A lot of people think of the on-the-field aspect, but there's a lot that happens off the field in the weight room. But you've been able to take your guys. I saw them up on the Dixie Rock, the other day, showing them the community. They're helping students move in. Talk a little bit about what you and your staff got together to plan for the off-field portion of fall camp, and just how equally important it is to the on-field portion of fall camp.
Well, when I talked to Dr. Booth about this job, it was a lot about player development, and we want to see these guys physically change, be great football players. That's a given, right? So that's our job, to make sure they're good there. But there's other facets of their life that are just as important. I believe if they're going to work hard in the classroom, they're going to work hard on the football field. So that's a direct reflection on everything that we do. If we're good citizens, we make good decisions. Then I think that needs to be praised, and that's why I feel like I need to be active in social media. And I really wanted to go up and show them like what their community is about. All these guys are really good football players in high school. Their film's really good, but it's a different step now, and this is who they represent. They represent Dixie State and the St. George community, and I wanted them to make sure that they knew it's bigger than themselves, right? And to not let their teammates down, that they're accountable for their actions both on and off the field and in the classroom. And if we can put all those pieces together, we're going to have a successful football team. And later on in life, when they're all done playing football, they're going to come back and give us a high five because we're trying to do it the right way.
Absolutely. Words of wisdom spoken by head coach Paul Peterson. We've got a couple more minutes with you here, Coach, so we don't want to let you go any sooner than we have to, because we're just soaking this stuff up like a sponge. September 7th for us can't get here soon enough. I'm sure you've got a lot of planning, a lot of things to work out.
Slow down.
Before then. But what are some of those, maybe another one of those cliches, shortest probably fall camp of your football career, just in the way that the academic calendar fell and when school starts. And so you get this week. So you get Friday, Saturday, and then, Thursday. I don't want to skip Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Monday the kids are back in school. Right. And so by Monday, will you be doing install for Pueblo, or are you still going to try to take a couple more practices and as if it were kind of a fall camp practice? What's the goal? What's the plan the rest of the way before we get into the season? We're
going to try and make it still be like a fall camp. So we only get a certain amount of hours. They call them CARA hours, countable athletically related activities. Mo will be happy I got that one.
There you go. He got that one,
20
Mo.
hours. So we just shortened it. So we're still gonna try and have a 2-hour practice, and then we're gonna have a shortened meetings and a shortened lift, and still packed. Everything's just gonna be condensed for them to be able to get their studies down. But we're still, in my opinion, fall camp mode. So we got a big scrimmage this Saturday, and then we'll go throughout the 5 days of the week, and then we'll scrimmage again on Saturday and give them a little time off, and then we'll start jumping into Pueblo after that. But we've got to get these 2 scrimmages under our belt to see where we're at, especially to see how these younger guys that are coming in, or the new guys, how they're adjusting and where they fit. They're going to be a 2 or are they going to be 1? Are they coming on the bus or staying home? So we got a lot of work to do that way.
Coach, I know you just said obviously you're not into game prep yet for Pueblo, right, but they have been on the schedule now for 3 or 4 months. Yeah. Have you looked into what Pueblo is going to bring at all? Have you looked into see how you're going to scout them? Have you even started to maybe implement some offensive strategies that you're going to use for Pueblo? Is there any sort of game prep that you've done maybe just as an individual in the 3 or 4 months we've had them on the schedule?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's none of your business. Of course, we've got to watch them. I mean, they're the reigning champs. They're the playoff team. They're the team to beat. I can't remember. I don't know what they're ranked, but they're in the top 15, I believe. Yeah. Picked to win our conference
consistently.
Yeah, he's got something going over there. Great coach. They've got good kids. He's a good person. He's got a similar model as far as player development, and he's got some really good football players. And so, yeah, we've studied their film. We like to think that we have a little bit of advantage, them not knowing what kind of scheme we're running offensively, defensive. That's a little new. I'm sure they're trying to find out what we did last year at Snow College, and that's normal. But we're going to give them a run for that money on that first game. I'm excited about that.
Sounds like the plan is Coach Drayson will show us what he has in store for Pueblo on September 7th at about 7 o'clock.
And I wouldn't expect anything less from Coach Peterson. So.
Absolutely. He just hit the nail on the head. New offense, new coaches, new staff. We're not giving anything up, especially here on Trailblazer Weekly, because we want him to come back and visit more.
And I'm excited that we'll be able to experience it as the viewers and listeners get to experience it as well. So.
Coach, thank you so much
for
stopping by. That was
awesome.
Loads of great information, and I'm sure we'll chat more as the camp gets going. And our plan is, if you'll accept our invitation, is to have you be a very regular guest here on this show. So
you got to get me a Snickers and a Dr. Pepper, and we're good.
We'll make it happen. We can make that happen. He's head coach Paul Peterson of the Dixie State football team. The Trailblazers, day 5 of fall camp, open up against CSU Pueblo. Top pick to finish first in the RMAC, nationally ranked in the top 25 as well. They'll be here on September 7th.